All right, everybody. I am so excited today because we are featuring one of our brandy new Emerald ambassadors, Madison Amberzetti. Congratulations, friend. So excited. I am, yeah, just thrilled about her story and what she's going to share with you guys because her story is one of resilience, one of faith, one of hopeful expectancy. And you know what, guys? She didn't quit, even when the days or the nights or the season was hard and long. And so I just want to, I'm not going to take that much time to introduce her because she has an incredible story and I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. So, Madison, why don't you tell us why you started Plexus? Like, go bring us back to the beginning, why you started, and also why you started to share. And then just kind of share from there, and then we can kind of bounce it back and forth with questions.
Okay, so I started Plexus back in 2017. My mother-in-law, Angie, she had started 2 years prior, and I was actually, Aaron and I had just gotten married. We were 19, when she started, and she was like, do this with me. And I was like, no, I'm perfectly healthy. Like, leave me alone. I don't need to do this. No, but I'll watch you do it. So she started the products, had phenomenal results. I was a huge hater. I thought Plexus was pyramid scheme. I was like, don't suck me into your little cult. Like, I'm good. Like, no, we're not working the business. We're not taking the products. Like, leave me alone. No. So basically, that's how pretty much her or the rest of me and the rest of her children were like, this is so silly. And so not super supportive. Yeah, Plexus haters very publicly. And so um, fast forward 2 years, we have our first child, and my bathroom habits were not good. Could not go to the bathroom. I had gone to the doctor. It was very how do I say it? Invasive. It was very invasive. And I'm a very private person. And so I was literally scarred for life. And I have a 4-year-old walking up the stairs. Hold on just a second.
Totally fine. Real life happens.
Sorry. He wants to know if he can take his shirt off outside. Okay. So, anyways, so I had gone to the doctor and they're like, here, take this, drink this, do this, do that. And I'm like, okay. So I do everything they say to do. Zilch luck, none. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. I'm not in a good place. We are going to have to do something else. And so I had to suck up my pride and say, Ange, can you please give me whatever you think is going to make me go to the bathroom? And she was like, sure, and we were like dirt poor. Like, we had no money. I couldn't afford Plexus. Like, we had no money. And I was a new stay-at-home mom. We owned a house. Aaron at the time, like, he wasn't making much money. Like, he was like 21. And it was just a struggle. We could not afford it. But she bought me my first triplex. And she's like, if this works for you, I'll like pay for it, whatever. But just, you need to be consistent. So I'm like, okay. So the first week, thought I had the flu, ran a fever, felt terrible. But y'all, I went to the bathroom, which if you've ever been not able to do that, like, it's funny, like, we laugh, but it's seriously absolute misery. Like, you sit in the bathroom and cry because you're like, I just want to be able to go to the bathroom. That's it. And so within the first couple of weeks, I was finally going every single day. I was regular, and I'm like, okay. And I also, right before I started this, had started having severe migraines, and they had auras, which, if you've ever had like an aura migraine, it's terrifying. Like, I thought I had a brain tumor. I was like, I couldn't see anything. I was blacking out. I had this newborn baby I was taking care of, and I was scared to drive for fear that I would like black out. And so I had to like, I like couldn't drive places because I was like, I'm scared I'm gonna black out while I'm driving. So that had also started, but I thought that was normal. My doctor's like, oh, it's hormonal. You just had a baby. So had that, couldn't go to the bathroom, had GI issues since the time I was literally like born, lived at the GI doctor. So when I started to go to the bathroom, soon I noticed I didn't have a migraine anymore. I had energy. I didn't have to take naps with my newborn baby every day. I stopped craving some really nasty things. Like I literally would eat Chick-fil-A for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Like no joke, had a horrible Chick-fil-A addiction. It was so bad. That's the only time she slept was in the car. So I would drive there 3 times a day just to get like 2 seconds without a screaming child. And um, and literally like my GI problems went away. I used to have like I would get really nervous and you can fill in the blanks. I'd be running to the bathroom because I was so nervous. I don't have that anymore. I don't get nervous. My anxiety was through the roof. I don't have anxiety anymore. So all of these things started to dissipate. And eventually in 2019, so 2 years later, Plexus was running a special where they were like, hey, sign up 6 people, get an iPad. And I'm like, hello, I was pregnant with number 2. And I was like, okay, we're dirt poor. I'm not getting an iPad any other way. So I'm going to add 6 people. And so I added 6 people. I got the iPad and I was kind of like happy. I was like, okay, got an iPad, like, sweet, I'm done. And so I kind of like was 1 foot in, 1 foot out after that for quite a while. I would post, but I was not reaching out to anybody, so don't you dare ask. And like I just wasn't willing to do the hard things because I hadn't caught the vision. I was like, yeah, this is fun. It's a little bit of money here and there. It's paying for my products, fantastic, but like whatever. And I was that way for years. So I went gold in 2020. December seems to be a rank up month for me. I went gold in December 2020. I had a business builder quit. I went back down, had another business builder, went back up. Then she quit, went back down. And I was devastated because every time I got a builder, I was like, oh, this is it. Like, I'm going to make it. And then they would quit. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to make it. Like, woe is me. And so it was that way for a little while. And in October of, I think, well, okay, back up just a couple months. So in August, I think it was August, Angie was like, hey, because those of us have been around for a while, like we didn't have gold school and like all of the stuff. Like that was not a thing back in our day. And so she was like, hey, if you re-rank gold this month, you can go to gold school in October with me in Austin, 2023. And I'm like, okay, I think I can do that. Like, so I hit gold. I did not hit gold in September. Ended at 78 points in October. And I was like, I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm over it. But I had done some like private coaching that we had paid for. And my husband was like, you're not quitting because like you're still getting coached and we paid for it and you're doing it. And I'm like, okay, so I will work out the rest of this membership and then I'm done. Like I'm over it. I'm burnt out. Everybody quits. Like I'm done. And he's like, okay, whatever you choose, I'm going to support you, but you do need to finish this out. Like we paid for it. You need to finish it out. And I'm like, okay. So November rolls around, 2023, and we have the free reset. And I'm doing all these vendor events and I'm like hustling and busting at these vendor events. And I signed up 15 people that month. And I have someone who decides to start sharing. She started with the reset and I plugged her into the group. I plugged her into the reset group. And in that group, they said, if you post on your page, you're going to be entered to win for a prize. And so she posted and I saw it and I'm like, oh, she posted. She posted. I might make it after all. Like she posted. And I was so excited. And then, what does this say? Playing music, question mark. Do you know why it says that, Megan?
I have no idea.
Okay. Okay. And so I was so excited. And so then I was like, I have prayed for a very long time for the Lord to bring me the people. And this was on suggestion by Justin Golf for the people that need the business, need the products, and are willing to work. And so that's what I've been praying for. I started praying for them instead of myself. And that changed the trajectory of my business. And so basically, she started sharing, and I had been praying for this specific person who's on this call. You know who you And so I'd been praying like, Lord, she's told me no, but I just feel like she needs this. I just feel like she would do so good. I love her personality. Everyone loves her. Like, Lord, please, if it's meant to be, just let her say yes. And so I messaged her again and I was like, hey, girl, I know you said you were not going to post, but would you be interested in posting now? And she said yes. She said yes. And she's a senior gold now. Fast start, senior gold. So I got, and my other girl that started posting then, she's gold now. So those were my first two. And then in December, I had someone who would quit me come back. She was like, don't push me. I'm going senior silver. That's it. Shh, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call. Shh. Well, no trash people coming. They already came. Go out, please. So, so then in December, I had another builder come back. She was like, I'm only going to senior silver. Don't push me. And I'm like, okay. Like, I was kind of scared of her. I was like, okay, I'm gonna push you. Please don't leave. And so she ended up blowing past senior silver. And I was like, you've got to go for gold. And she's like, okay, we'll do it. So she blew past gold. And I'm like, I have 3 builders and they're all like going for gold. Like, what the heck is this? And then they started getting people that started wanting to build. And then they started getting people. And then I started getting more people that wanted to build. And I had one person come in. I love her dearly. Like, she is one of those people the Lord has placed in my life that I did not know I needed. And I needed her. And I needed her on my team. And she's phenomenal. Did not know her from Adam. She messaged me one day, hey, I've tried the products before. They didn't work. I want to try them with you. I know you'll keep me consistent. Like, let's go. And I'm like, okay. Signed up her hubby, would not upgrade. I was like, come on, don't you want to upgrade? She's like, no. I'm like, okay. So she upgraded in February. She went fast start silver, senior silver, and gold. March, she went fast start senior gold, and she got a fast start silver, senior silver, and gold. So all of that to say, and I have other great builders too that are level ones that I've recruited. But all of that to say is that you never know who it's going to be. Like, you never know. You just have to keep pouring in. There is no secret sauce. There is no magic, which that was where I went wrong. I was always looking for someone to fix my business quick. Like, okay, who's going to be the one to come in and blow it up? Who's going to be this? Who I've got to advance. But like the second I stopped worrying about me, started focusing on them, my business changed. So sorry, that's a long intro, but all right, Meg, what you
Yeah.
got?
Okay. Thank you. That
Okay.
just hearing your story, like just from your mouth, is incredible. And so sitting at 78 amazing points. I don't want to say stinking points because 78 points is a significant amount of people that you had helped up to that point, but you were frustrated because your expectation wasn't matching the reality of where you were. Because like you were expecting to be, I don't even know what, but a rank higher than gold, non-ranking gold at that point, and just were sitting in those feelings of frustration. But you were invested in growth because you're willing to go make an investment in some coaching. And, I know you were listening to Angie and, Justin and me and whoever else you were hearing from, but putting into action some of those things. And even though you say there's not secret sauce, we could actually dissect some of the things that you did to make the stars all start to line up in November, December, January, February, March, leading up from that 78 points in October to double ranking Ruby, senior Ruby in February, and then going up to Emerald in March. And then we're prepping for Sapphire and Diamond this year. And so I think looking at the things that you were doing and we're doing well, the consistency piece is massive. Like that would be, I mean, if we kind of dissect what was going on in your business and with you were staying consistent because people were coming to you saying, hey, I'm coming to you to restart because you're going to hold me accountable. I mean, even just from a product end, you had projected out to the world that you were being consistent, you were staying faithful, you were committed to your health, you were committed to the journey. I think that the also the fact that you were not afraid to keep asking people that you saw potential in, like you were willing to like take that scary uncomfortable step and ask the question to your friend, and she said yeah. And so I think those are significant. I think also vision is huge because you didn't stop believing, or when you felt like you lost the vision a little bit, you went back to catch it, recatch it. and remind yourself, actually, this is why I'm here. And so it was a matter of catching and recatching the vision, because sometimes in this, like when the journey is long or feels long and hard, it can be discouraging. And sometimes we base our future on our past experience, like, well, every new goal that I've helped has quit. But does
Mhm.
that mean that all the new goals that you're going to develop in the future are going to do that? No, but it can be really discouraging when you're sitting in there and you don't necessarily have that proof. Because I've personally experienced that on my reentry account with having multiple goals, come in and make some things happen and then quit, and then people all leave. And so we cannot we cannot let past experience define the future. So tell us. Okay. Oh, I also think it was significant that you shared that you were doing vendor events. So you and Angie committed to those vendor events monthly, and then the consistency of those built up, and you didn't magically recruit 15 people in a month
Mhm.
from nowhere. You were doing consistent action. Maybe even at the vendor events, I don't know, maybe you had some that felt like a flop, but you were making connections everywhere you were going. And that whole gold school concept that they teach, which is become a professional friend maker. Like you had years of pouring into friendships, building friendships, meeting new people, and that time factor, the consistency, and also you plugging people in, plug and play with people into the reset group and into the slim down challenge. Those were two pivotal things that I have heard some of your people say, that those were pivotal for helping them make their first post. Because hey, there was a 25 cash gift card up for grabs if they went and made their post. And so that got them um, getting posts, or just getting comfortable with posting. And also I think we've just invited people to like share their pink drink selfie or whatever in the comments in that group. So it's a kind of a safe space
Mhm.
for people to share. And so I think that was really crucial. So tell me a little bit more about what pivoted for you, like your mindset and maybe even the action that you were taking from October to whenever it was, December. Do
Okay.
you feel like there are some specific things?
Um, I I think it goes back further than just October, but like, I did hire a life coach last year, and I had a lot of personal things from just my life that I had to move on from. And this life coach really helped me. Like, she helped me move the needle in my business, but like, the biggest part was she helped me be able to, like, learn how to deal with these things and, like, grow from it. So, I gained a lot of personal growth, and I would say that is the biggest contributing factor, because through that, my confidence soared. I had been not confident and, struggled so hard to show my face and to do all the things, and through healing, I really was able to grow myself, and that's what changed the trajectory of my business, because people saw that I was a different person, but in a good way. And
Mhm.
so that was a big part of it. But as far as, October to December goes and beyond that, I had to really, I guess, like, really one huge turning point for me was in November. I actually earned Leaders Retreat in November, and it was the first Plexus trip I had ever earned. I had been places with Ange, but, like, it was the first one I ever earned myself for me and my husband, and it literally, like, I can't leave this part out because the entire thing was so, like, a God thing. We wanted to go on a trip for our anniversary this year to where we went on our honeymoon, and, we decided to build a house, and so that was, like, not gonna happen, and in 9 years, we've never been anywhere, the 2 of us, and so we were like, "Okay, it's not gonna happen. We're gonna build this house, we can't afford it, whatever." And then Plexus announced Leaders Retreat. Guess where it was to? Punta Cana, which was our honeymoon spot, and our 9th anniversary year, and I was like, "Babe, we could go to Punta Cana." Like, and so my points kept racking up and racking up. Then I added those 15 people, and then my points were blowing past, and I'm like, "We're gonna get to go to Punta Cana for free, like, what?" And so, I went to Punta Cana, and people really started watching there. People really were like, "Okay." This isn't just some pyramid scheme. Like she really, like it really works. She's earned this free trip. I had people messaging me, people asking about it. And so for me, that was super pivotal because I had people that started saying, like, you're never going on another trip, that I'm not going to be there. And so that really boosted my like confidence for business because I then had people coming in going, okay, this is my goal. They were setting goals for themselves. Like they want to earn trips, they want to earn cash, they want to like earn all these things. And so really Punta Cana was a huge pivotal moment for me because it showed me what was possible. And also it showed my husband, like he knew because his mom's a jewel. Like he knew like what, but he had never been on a plexus trip. And going on that trip, he was like, I am in total disbelief. He was like, I can't believe like the party they throw, the like, and it's kid friendly. Like we could bring our kids next time. And like all of the things, he was just blown away. He couldn't believe it. And so that was a huge pivotal point for me, for him, for my team, them just seeing that.
Yeah, and I was talking to Jessica Huxley recently, and she said the Lexus, the trips, and the money. She's like, that is what would attract me to your team. And so, Madison, you earning that trip in November, sparking the eyes of just different people on your team, and probably different and people potentials that had not yet joined. They were watching and tracking, like, oh my word, Madison just earned that trip. What the heck? Or I'm not missing another Plexus trip. I've been watching her for how long? And so that is really key. That is so key. So guys, don't be afraid. We're studying this book. And so do not be afraid to take 10x action, which 10x action and would be like posting about earning the trips, making money, ranking up, the income graphic. Like that is pivotal and very important because you're looking to attract high level leaders, not just so you can get to senior gold, but you can be star diamond. So I want to just encourage everyone's perspectives to think bigger because there's more Madison Amberzettis out there. There's more Jessica Heffleys that are out there, and they aren't going to necessarily be attracted to your team if you're only talking about ProBio 5 and your poop problem. You know what I mean? So, Madison, real quick, you had mentioned when we were chatting right before the call that you had thoughts popping in your head like, am I even good enough? So
Mm-hmm.
can you speak to the insecurity that you were dealing with when you were in that hard season?
Yeah. So I guess I had been following like a bunch of girls on Instagram. No, you can play in the front yard. No, you can play in the front yard. Okay, well, that's fine. So basically I had gone to Hawaii with Angie and I had started following all these like cute emerald, sapphires, diamonds, and so yes. Can I go to the boys' house and play with No. Them? So sorry. Stay at home mama. Um, anyways, so where was I? Megan reminds
So
me.
you were following
Yes.
because you went on the Emerald trip with Angie a couple years ago. You were following these girls that were emerald, sapphires, diamonds.
And they were like my age, same, like they had kids. They're so cute. And like I was just like, oh, I want to be them. And so then I got this thought in my head. I'm like, how are they getting people to work? And like I can't get anyone to work. Like, what is the disconnect here? Like, what's going on? And so immediately, because I have always been super insecure about myself, I was like, I'm just not cute enough. Like they're so cute. They're doing all the fun things. They have all these girlfriends. They're making it look so fun. And then I'm over here like, just wearing sweatpants every day and like just I'm not good enough. That's why nobody will join because I'm not good enough. And so had these thoughts going through my mind and I like I talked to my life coach. I'm like, listen, this has to be the only reason that I don't have all these girls joining my team. Like, I want to have a girl gang. Like, why am I not like, what's going on? Is it me? Like, am I not good enough? And of course, she's like, no, like it has nothing to do with that. And all of these things. And so I had a lot of that like feeling like it's just me. I'm not fun enough. I'm not good enough. Anyway, sorry. I just had all of these thoughts because I had gone through every other scenario in my mind of why I could not get business builders. Like why people would tell me no, why they were not interested. I just could not for the life of me figure it out. So in my mind, that's the only thing that made sense. I was just like, that's it. I'm not good enough. And and so, you know, and that one wasn't an easy one to get over either. That wasn't one that one day I was just like, oh, I am good enough. It's just, you know, but has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with how cute you are or how many friends you have. I was just telling one of my builders this. I'm like, it don't matter how many friends you got. Like, it doesn't matter because it's not none of my friends work plexus. Well, I mean, my team is my friends, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't go to my bestie and say, hey, do this with me. And she was like, yeah, let's do it together. Like, no. So, and all of my friends now, well, not all of them. I have friends outside of Plexus, obviously, but my team, they're my girls, like they're my friends. And it ended up that I was good enough and that these girls, I love you too, that these girls did want to be on my team and like did want to be friends with me. And it was just all in my head. And so you really have to get out of your head and like open your eyeballs and see like, okay, it's not you. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. It just hasn't been your time yet. And I had a hard time accepting that. But
Well, and this is the other thing is I think that thought impacts the actions that we take. Just like the CTFAR
yes.
model shows us, when we're thinking those thoughts, we're probably not taking action. If we're taking action, we may not even be taking action in the right direction to help us get the results that we say we want. So it's like this self-perpetuating defeat spiral
Yeah.
versus if we're offering our brain something else to think about. And so, yeah, there's a bunch in the chat saying, "Oh my word, that's me, that's me, that's me." Like everyone's resonating with that. It's a common feeling and thought that pops up, but I think we have to remind ourselves why we're doing what we're doing, what we're here for, and that we're here to help those that are looking for us. And those people are out there. So we need to be consistent in looking for those people, not hovering in the corner like, oh, poor pitiful me. Nobody wants to join me because I must not be blank enough, whatever
Mm.
that enough is. And so this business is like it's a process like nothing else to refine us. I've been amazed at the growth. Like if you're willing to grow as a person and grow in that whole consistency builds confidence, builds credibility, like it all stacks on itself. And so this business brings out insecurities. It just does. And it highlights well, Justin says all the time, like this business exposes stuff. And so be thankful for the exposure and grow from it. Don't huddle in the corner, get help. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that you go pay a life coach. You could go talk to your sponsor. You could go talk to your spouse. You could go talk to a trusted friend. Have somebody in your corner that you can verbalize and externally process with because it's going to help you get over it quicker. The other thing I think is so interesting, just like how our brains and we as people tick, is that we can look at what other people are doing and either be discouraged or inspired by that. And I would just encourage you guys as you see other people, like other people ranking up and other people getting what you say you want, instead of being discouraged by it, work on being inspired by that by asking yourself, okay, what are they doing and what are they saying? And I think this has been a really helpful tool for me because I'm one of those people that look at someone that's better than me and I ask, okay, what are they doing? What are they saying? I want to know what they're doing and saying so I can duplicate it. And so I would just encourage you guys to be inspired by that, not discouraged. And don't be like huddling in the corner insecure about you as a person. Go to that person and ask them. Ask them if they have a resource, a video, something that you could learn from so you can get better at your conversations, get better at your posting, get better at your marketing, get better at your in-person connections so that you can up level and be like that person. But you're going to be a little different because you're you. You know, that's the cool thing. All right. Well, I want to wrap this up real quick, but what would be your, okay, we didn't talk about your visuals because I know you have visuals. I don't know if you could pull a couple up on your phone to show us because this going like double ranking in a month and or going emerald and making as big of a point jump as she did because she basically has like double quadrupled the size of her team very very quickly. But that doesn't happen just because you have like a right person on your team. It has not absolved Madison of leadership, of time investment, hosting events, being very strategic with her, papers, getting stuff mapped out, helping her team, getting very, very consistent and tracking, like daily tracking the orders, the subscriptions, who's declined. Like it takes effort and intention. It doesn't just happen by osmosis, or that has not been my experience. Was that your experience, Madison?
No. I
Yeah.
like I had been tracking and I still am tracking because I'm tracking where I was last month. Praise the Lord, guys. I am margins away from where I was at this time last month. Like, oh, so I really have kept a super close eye on my back office. And I'm gonna tell you something, back office drama is real. Like I have had back office drama like nobody's business, which by that I mean absolutely terrified to look at your back office. Like, I don't want to look because somebody's canceled. I don't want to look because that subscription turned off or that subscription pushed out or whatever. And the thing is, you have to get in your back office and you have to track, where was I last month at this time? Where am I going? Where are my points coming from? And that's something that I didn't understand. So something Angie and I did, obviously because we were both closely working together because we had lots of rank ups on our teams and we were both trying to rank up. Like she was going for Sapphire, I was going for Emerald. And so, the closer it got, I just had to look, okay, where are my points going to come from? This person's goal is here. The biggest takeaway from my entire rank up experience, which is wild, is that I focused too much on me and I had to start focusing on my girls and what their goals were. Because at the end of the day, like for me, their goals are just as important to me as my goals are because they have their why and they know where they're going and what they want to do and why they want it. And so basically we mapped out my points. So we said, okay, this person's going for this goal. This is how many points they're going to bring in. This person's going for this goal. This is how many points they're going for. She's Ruby, she's senior gold. And so we were pulling all the points together and we were still short. We were short. I woke up on Easter and I was sick. I was like, still had like, I don't know, like 20 orders to go. And I'm like, okay, like my team was racking in like 20 to 30 orders a day also. And so I'm like, we ended up adding, I think it was like 100 and close to like 190 or something like that. I would have to look back, but it was a lot. And so I was like, okay, these points have to come from somewhere. And Angie and I, so I'll show you. I don't know if you can see, you might not be able to, but we have this whiteboard at their office and we had the people written down where the points were coming from, how many points they were. And I don't know if y'all have noticed, but points don't update super fast right now. And it is really stinking frustrating when you're going for a huge rank up. And so we had them all written down and I have like a video, if I can get it to play. Well, I can, but if you can see it, and this is what I sent to my husband when I got to 1990 or 1496. But we like had it all mapped out. We were writing down the names, how many points that person was bringing that had not gone through yet. And so I was just looking and honestly, when I was going for senior gold, I had someone that did not show up for 24 hours. She showed up at like 11 p.m. on the last night of the month. And so like our thing was, okay, we got to get to 1500, but we've got to get past 1500 because if these points don't show up, even though plexus usually honors and, goes back or whatever, like I'm not going to sleep tonight if my points don't say 1500. And so one other one I have, this was at 10 p.m. and the points finally started coming in and this showed up. It says 1499. And my husband was waiting on me to get home with the kids because they were going to go celebrate with my mother-in-law. And so he's like, where are you? They're falling asleep. Ah. And I'm like, I'm not leaving this dang office until it says 1500. And then it got stuck at 1499. So if you're when you look at where you want to go, you need to look at what your team's goals are and where those points are coming from. So if Susie's going gold, then you know there's 100 points. If she's going senior gold, there's 250. If she's going ruby, so you just have to really strategize that way. And yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so really quick, let's wrap this up. 3 top tips for those who are working towards Emerald. What would you say to someone that's at 78 points right now?
I would say pray. That's the number one. Like pray, pray, pray that God brings you those people, or that one person sees your post or whatever it is. 2, be consistent, because just because it hasn't happened for you yet, like y'all, I was gold for 3 years. Like, come on. That's yeah, which I mean, gold is amazing. Like you're still in the top of the company at gold, but like I was not re-ranking gold for a really long time. And so consistency, like I just kept posting, I just kept doing things because I was like, eventually it's gonna stick, like if it takes 10 years to get to diamond, I'm still making more than a brain surgeon in 10 years, like whatever. And so consistency and like not giving up. Those go hand in hand. And then my third thing is to not make it about yourself. Like I was just telling a leader this today because she's like, I'm just starting and I don't, yeah. And I'm like, she's like, I don't really have to have the money. And I'm like, but there are people that do have to have the money, and you have the vehicle for them that they don't know about yet. And that's your responsibility. Like God has put this on your heart, and you might not need the money, but a million other people do. So I was like, quit making it about yourself. You've got to make it about other people. And so sometimes that's a really hard pill to swallow, but the more you make it about them, the better things are. Your team's happier, you're doing the work you're supposed to be doing. Like it's just make it about them. So that's what I would say my top 3 tips are.